Hello everyone, I am Burning, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Speedrunning Sky Noon. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to get started with speedrunning this game. The first step is real simple. First, just buy the game and play the tutorial. Maybe play with some friends. I would highly recommend this actually. This is a great game to play just as a shooter. It's a lot of fun, so if you have some friends who you could play this with, I would highly recommend that. So let's get right into it. The most important tool you have is your grappling hook. The grappling hook is not hit scan. The hook is a projectile that takes a short amount of time to reach the target surface, but this only matters in a couple situations. 1. Hooking onto a moving target, like a player. Or 2. When you're at the edge of your grappling range. Which brings me to the next point. You can only grapple onto surfaces a certain distance away. The crosshair turns green when you're looking at a valid surface. However, your grapple can stretch seemingly infinitely beyond the grapple range, though this doesn't really matter for time trials. There are two different types of grapples you can perform. I refer to them as pivot and straight grapples. A pivot grapple pivots around the grappling hook, like so, and can be executed by holding A or D when your grapple attaches to a surface. Straight grapples temporarily stop you in place and bring you straight to where the grapple attached. They can be executed by not holding A or D when your grapple attaches to a surface. However, straight grapples are usually replaced by pivot grapples if you try to grapple in the opposite direction of your movement. Straight grapples are also less useful for speedrunning, as pivot grapples allow for smooth movements and retained momentum. Speaking of momentum, grapples pull you at a fixed rate of 40 kilometers per hour. In the arc of a grapple, there are a couple sweet spots where you can let go and retain a lot of speed, and there are, of course, some sour spots where you come out moving quite slowly. You'll just have to learn how to feel these sweet and sour spots in-game yourself, but it will come. Next, let's talk about weapons and abilities in regards to speedrunning. The only ability that you get in time trials is dynamite, which is a timed grenade that explodes after about a second and a half. You start with 3 dynamite on spawn, but they recharge at a rate of 1 dynamite every 15 seconds. Dynamite can be cooked in your hand by holding the ability button. If you cook dynamite all the way, it will blast you backwards. This can be used strategically to get a quick burst of speed. In beginner, intermediate, and advanced time trials, you get the hand cannon as your weapon. It's a rocket launcher that shoots projectiles that explode on contact. You can blast jump with it, similar to Quake in Team Fortress 2. The weapon you get in the attack time trials is the machine pistol, which is a burst fire gun that shoots 3 bullets at a time. In the attack time trials, it is used to shoot the targets, which frees the timer for 1 second each. An oddity with this gun is that you have to manually reload it when you are out of ammo, unlike the other guns. It also has a pretty limited range, as you can see in this clip. In this game, most actions can happen simultaneously, such as reloading while grappling, or shooting a gun and shooting your grapple at the same time, stuff like that. But there are a few actions that will cancel other actions, such as picking up a new ability, which cancels your reloading animation, and also makes it so you can't shoot for about a second. Using certain abilities, dynamite, mines, or a teleporter, will cancel a reload as well. And here are a few interesting movement tips. Holding A or D while in the air will affect your trajectory, as you can see in these clips. It may not seem super apparent when grappling, but it does make a difference. You can bunny hop to preserve momentum, but the inability to bind anything to your mouse wheel makes this quite challenging. But if you practice it enough and get good and consistent with it, I could see it being used to develop some pretty interesting strategies. Lastly, I'd like to talk about the categories that we have on speedrun.com. First, we have the individual levels, which are pretty straightforward. You just do the level and submit a video with your in-game time. The longer and more interesting category is any %, in which all levels must be completed, but in any order. The timer starts when the countdown reaches 0 in whatever level you choose to begin on, and the timer ends when you reach the goal in the final level. After the run is complete, you must manually add up all the in-game times to get your time without loads, which is important for comparing against other players since this is a PC game and load times in between levels will vary from runner to runner. And that's it for the video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you go pick this game up on Steam. It's only about 15 bucks and it's definitely worth it. It's a ton of fun, and the speedrunning aspect is just a small piece of the puzzle, as this game is a great shooter to play with your friends. I would love for some more competition, as I am currently the only one with any runs on speedrun.com. If you have any questions regarding the game, regarding speedrunning, anything, just leave a comment and I will try to address them.